what they gain from just trying to diminish Caitlin Clark.
ESPN just went on record, opened up a can of worms.
Here's the thing. Love Caitlin. Wait, what makes a top 5 player? Winning.
Like, we forget what Caitlin Clark did. She broke every individual record.
Alright, we need to talk about this. ESPN just released its list of the top 5 college basketball players, and somehow, Caitlin Clark is not on it. Are you kidding me? This ranking has fans furious and experts confused, and honestly, I don't blame them. Caitlin Clark is out here breaking records, leading the nation in scoring, and putting up highlight after highlight. So how in the world does she not make the cut? So what's really going on here? Why was she snubbed? A marketing stunt or something else? Well, I did some digging, and trust me, what I found is wild. Let's break it all down.
ESPN released a ranking of the greatest women's college basketball players, only to remove Caitlin Clark from the top 5. The unexpected decision has drawn criticism from fans and analysts alike.
Cannot believe we're still going through this. We're still going through this debate that Caitlin Clark is not the GOAT. I mean, what more does she have to do?
Alright, before we discuss why Caitlin Clark was left off ESPN's list, let's look at who actually made it. So, according to ESPN, these are the most incredible women's college basketball players of all time. At number 1 we have Breanna Stewart. Known for her dominance on the court, Stewart is a 3-time NCAA champion and 4-time Final Four most outstanding player. Her career at UConn was marked by unparalleled success, including being named the Naismith Trophy winner 3 times. Stewart's impact extends beyond her college years, as she has become a leading figure in the WNBA and international competitions. Candace Parker is coming in at number 2. A 2-time NCAA champion and the first player to win both the Wade Trophy and the Naismith Trophy in the same year, Parker's achievements are legendary. She was a dominant force at Tennessee, leading the Volunteers to back-to-back national titles. Parker's versatility on the court, combined with her leadership and athleticism, has made her a household name in women's basketball. At number 3, we have Diana Taurasi. Often regarded as one of the greatest shooters in basketball history, Taurasi led UConn to 3 consecutive NCAA championships. Numerous awards, including the Naismith Trophy and the Wade Trophy, marked her career. Taurasi's influence on the game extends far beyond her college years, as she has been a cornerstone of the WNBA and a key figure in international competitions. Maya Moore comes in at number 4, a 4-time NCAA champion and 3-time Final Four most outstanding player. Moore's achievements at UConn are unparalleled. She was named the Naismith Trophy winner twice and is widely regarded as one of the greatest players in college basketball history. Moore's impact on the game includes her dominance on the court and her influence off it, as she has been a vocal advocate for social justice. Cheryl Miller rounds out the top 5. A 2-time NCAA champion and 3-time Naismith Trophy winner, Miller is often credited with elevating the profile of women's basketball in the 1980s. Her dominance at USC, where she led the Trojans to 2 national titles, set a high standard for future generations of players. Miller's legacy extends beyond her playing career, as she has been a successful coach and advocate for women's sports.
What they gain from just trying to diminish Caitlin Clark's greatness. If you put Caitlin Clark at number 2 and you had Stewie above Caitlin Clark, because, you know, Stewie did win 4 and 4, and Caitlin Clark literally led a team of 3 and 4 3-stars. Like, we forget what Caitlin Clark did. She broke every individual record.
Now listen, I'm not here to discredit these legends. These women absolutely deserve their flowers. But what about Caitlin Clark? She's the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, a 3-time scoring leader, and a 2-time AP Player of the Year. So why wasn't she included? That's where things get tricky. Caitlin Clark isn't just a great player, she's a generational talent. She's currently leading the NCAA in points per game, and her impact on the game goes far beyond that. She's breaking records that have stood for decades, cementing her place in history. And let's not forget, 3-time NCAA scoring leader, 3-time assist leader, 2-time Naismith Player of the Year, 2-time AP Player of the Year, the all-time leading scorer in NCAA history. That last one, that's huge. She broke records set by Kelsey Plum, Sabrina Ionescu, and even legends from this ESPN top 5 list. So, If we're talking about greatness, how do you ignore a player who's literally rewriting history? Clark's dominance is undeniable and her influence on the game is only just beginning. When you consider all these achievements, it's hard to understand why she wouldn't be in the top 5. But one thing is clear, Caitlin Clark is a legend in her own right, and her legacy will continue to inspire future generations of players.
Caitlin Clark, she went to Iowa as their only 5-star recruit in a freaking in over a decade. She chose to go to Iowa, a team that, and when she said going in, I want to make a Final Four, that doesn't get taken into account because, because she lost to the super teams.
Trust me, fans are not taking this lightly. The moment ESPN's list dropped, Twitter, Instagram, and sports forums absolutely exploded. And it's not just fans. Former players, analysts, and even some of Caitlin's biggest rivals are saying she was robbed. One WNBA insider even said, if Caitlin Clark played for UConn, she'd be number 1 on this list. And honestly, that might not be wrong. So let's break this down. Why would ESPN leave Caitlin Clark off the list? There are a few possible reasons. ESPN's analysts argued that Clark's lack of a national championship is the main reason she wasn't included in the top 5. They emphasized that winning is a crucial factor in determining greatness, and while Caitlin Clark has taken Iowa to the Final Four, she hasn't won a national title.
So here's the thing. Love Caitlin, love how she's transcended the game. I'm not going to go away from that, but in the open, we said, what makes a top 5 player? Winning. The only strike against Caitlin Clark is that she has not won a national championship. And that is the only thing that you can put against her.
What more does she have to do? Now, ESPN just went on record, and the lady that was doing this, I can't even think of her name, but she knew. She just opened up a can of worms, and her co-host did too.
But hold up. If rings are the only thing that matters, does that mean a player with more titles is automatically better? What about individual impact? What about records? What about carrying a team that wasn't already stacked with superstars? Clark became the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, breaking records held by Kelsey Plum and Sabrina Ionescu. She led Iowa to back-to-back national championship appearances, which is no small feat. Clark's influence extends beyond her achievements. She has propelled women's basketball into mainstream sports discourse like never before. So, is a national championship really the only measure of greatness? Look at the list again and notice a pattern. Almost all of them played for college powerhouses: UConn, Tennessee, and USC. If Caitlin Clark played for UConn, would this even be a debate? Probably not. Players like Breanna Stewart and Maya Moore thrived on teams stacked with future WNBA talent, which inevitably contributed to multiple championships. The reality is that Clark's impact on Iowa's program and women's basketball as a whole was monumental, regardless of the absence of a championship. ESPN knows precisely what they're doing. Leaving Caitlin Clark off the list creates outrage, drives engagement, and gets people talking. They knew this would be a hot topic, and guess what? It worked. We're all talking about it. By using Clark's name to drive engagement, ESPN sparked a debate that has fans and analysts alike questioning the criteria for greatness. It's a clever move, but does it do justice to Clark's achievements? The answer is up for debate. So, what happens next for Caitlin Clark? If we know anything about Caitlin, she's going to use this as fuel. Being left off ESPN's list might be just the motivation she needs to prove her doubters wrong. Iowa's future is still bright, and even though Clark is no longer there, her legacy continues to inspire the Hawkeyes. They remain a Final Four contender, and who knows, her influence may take them all the way. However, for Clark herself, the focus is now on the WNBA. Regardless of ESPN's rankings, Caitlin Clark's name is already in the history books. She's the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, a record that will stand for years to come. Bottom line, ESPN's list doesn't define her greatness, and she's got plenty of time to prove them wrong. Whether ESPN wants to admit it or not, Caitlin Clark is about to change the game to the next level. She was the most anticipated rookie ever, and her first season did not disappoint. Clark won the Rookie of the Year award, averaging 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. She also led the league in 3-pointers made per game and assists per game, solidifying her status as one of the WNBA's most promising talents. Will she bring more fans to the WNBA? One thing is clear. Caitlin Clark has brought millions of new eyes to women's basketball. Will that translate to the WNBA? If marketed correctly, absolutely. The WNBA is poised for growth, and Clark is at the forefront of this movement. Some critics think her style won't translate. But remember, people doubted Steph Curry too, and look how that turned out. If Caitlin Clark keeps doing what she's doing, she's not just going to be a star. She could be the future face of the WNBA. With the 2025 WNBA season approaching, Clark is preparing for her second year with heightened expectations. She's working with a new coaching staff, including Stephanie White and Keith Porter, and has been focused on personal improvement during the off-season. With significant roster changes and a new team dynamic, Clark will need to adapt quickly. But if anyone can do it, it's her. Clark has vowed to destroy teams next season, and with her dedication to improvement, it's hard not to believe her. She's already a favourite to win the MVP award, and her impact on the league will only continue to grow. Whether ESPN recognises her greatness or not, Caitlin Clark is on a mission to prove herself as one of the best in the game. So, now I want to hear from you. Did ESPN get this ranking completely wrong? Does Caitlin Clark deserve a top 5 spot? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the latest sports updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.